So you've seen some XR glasses out there and you don't think you can pull those off. Well, you're in luck, because these might just be the fanciest XR glasses yet. That way, you can roll up to your haters like John Cena! He's gonna get in the ring! But seriously, besides looks, these XR glasses do deliver in other ways too. So give me a few minutes and, as usual, I'll give you the good, the bad, and who I think should get these things. Okay, roll the intro. No, that's the wrong mute. Forget it. Okay, real quick before I tell you what I like, full disclosure, these were sent to me by RayNeo in exchange for review. No money changed hands, and as always, all opinions are my own. And like I've said in my other glasses reviews, if you're new to these types of things, let me say this real quick. These use birdbath optics, meaning these little displays get reflected off of a mirror to look as big as a 201-inch projector at 6 meters, or about 20 feet away. And yes, if you're about an arm's length or so away from the wall, it'll look kind of like someone holding up a phone to your face. Okay, now let's talk about what I like. I mentioned the fashionable aspect earlier and the look of these glasses, and yes, they've got this futuristic, ghost in the shell type look going. And not gonna lie, that got me all hot and bothered like an Intel K processor without proper cooling. Besides that, there are 4 speakers on these glasses, a first as far as I know, as you typically get 2 on conventional glasses of this type. And in having those extra speakers, you do get an extra bit of depth that probably doesn't get captured on the video, but here, listen for yourself. On top of that, there's a whisper mode, which honestly I can't capture very well because some of the sound gets absorbed by your head, obviously, and yeah, that's some kind of space magic, is all I'll tell you. I also like the on-screen displays, which you can see inside of the glasses and show you the level of brightness you're on, as well as refresh rate, and also offers 3 color temperatures, which you can switch between on the fly if, say, you're watching something cinematic, reading documents, or gaming on the go. Very handy. As for the build quality, that's another big plus, as the temples stretch open nicely to accommodate larger faces. Okay, maybe not that large, but I'm mentioning this because a common criticism I hear about these types of things are that they're only for small faces, and I think this one is a little bit more forgiving there. On top of that, it offers some articulation on the temples, which helps you get the right viewing angle for the displays. According to RayNeo, after all, these are built for larger pupillary distances, or IPDs. Now, the build itself is mostly plastic, which is a standard fare for these things, but the included case is definitely very protective, and there's even a handle. No, don't go swinging that around. Hey, I said no. As for the USB-C cable, since these types of glasses don't have their own battery built in, the included Velcro strap is a nice plus. Now, I would have liked a braided cable, but the good news here is that you can replace this if you lose it, as long as your new cable supports DP-Alt mode. Okay, as for what you see in the lenses, I'd say it's quite comparable to the competition, like the Vichar Pros I reviewed recently. The stated FOV is 46 degrees, and that looks to be about accurate from my subjective case. As for brightness, I don't have a lumen meter or whatever gizmo actual robots use to measure these things, but as I understand, they use the same underlying micro OLED displays as the Vichar Pros, so that should mean that they're significantly brighter than the first generation RayNeo Air2 glasses, as well as other first generation AR glasses from competing brands. This also means they can get dim enough in a dark environment so as not to blow out your eyes like they do my camera. For dislikes, I actually don't have a lot here, but in usual fashion, I'm going to nitpick. So the biggest difference between all of the glasses I've tested so far lies in the software primarily. I know many out there will be disappointed to learn that there is no 3DOF or pinning option on the glasses. In the RayNeo XR app on Android and the Nextwear Windows app, I was unable to find anything like that. But what I did find was the ability to do more than just mirror your screen, which is good. What's not so good is the lack of diopters if you have a visual impairment. The diopters will be super handy there. Yes, you can get inserts, which will work to focus everything you see through the lenses and not just the displays, but I'm personally partial to the ability to focus what you see in the display, even if it's just for sharing the glasses with my friends and family. The next little miss for me was the ecosystem. While they do have things like the Joy Dock and Pocket TV, which I have not used, so take what I say with a grain of salt, but as far as I can tell, the dock only works with the Nintendo Switch, meaning that there's no compatibility with the Steam Deck, Ally, or Legion Go, which is a shame because it actually looks pretty slick, design-wise. As for the Pocket TV, my understanding here is that it's a portable Google TV, without the added functionality like pinning or shrinking the image down. So while that itself isn't bad, it's not necessarily unique either. But again, since I haven't used either of these firsthand, I will be happy to be proven wrong, in both cases. Rounding out the rest of the ecosystem is the accessories, or lack thereof. Because while I did find things like adapters for pre-iPhone 15 iPhones, I did not find something like a lens cover, which would be important because the glasses themselves don't have electrochromic dimming or the darkening type ability to really draw out the bright displays in them. So yeah, there's that. But at this point, if you're thinking the dislikes here sound more like their neutral points, you'd be right, because I don't have many problems with these glasses, if any. Because really, I do think they're a pretty slick-looking alternative to the other brands that are already out there. One particular point I'll mention here that isn't unique to these Air2s's, but is important for brands overall, is long-term support. Because, as many of you have keenly pointed out, just like with handhelds, there are so many of these products that keep getting pushed out to us, and it would feel pretty bad if the product you just got was then replaced and dropped for support, especially given the hefty price tag that goes with a lot of these devices. So now let's talk about who should buy these RayNeo Air2s's. But before that, let me thank the channel members, Dino and Cryptographic Man. You guys are the goats. No, not those goats, the kind of goats that get special access to behind-the-scenes footage of all my blunders and bloopers, and special access to whatever other hallucinations only an AI can endure. Thank you both, and thanks everyone for watching. And now, I'll tell you right away that if you're looking for the best XR ecosystem out there, I don't think this is it. But I do think that these are very nice to look at and look through, not to mention listen to. And I didn't even mention the price point, which is quite aggressive as well, coming in slightly lower than other competitors like the Vitra Pros and XReal Air 2 Pros. But I will also say that if you're on the fence and you just want to see what's out on the horizon, if you didn't know, RayNeo is a subsidiary of TCL. Yes, that TCL that makes all those fancy TVs. I'm thinking that there's going to be a long line of these types of products from them. Take for instance the X2 glasses, which are absolutely on the cutting edge of the technology. And speaking of the cutting edge, don't forget to check out my other glasses reviews next.